Movile Cave, or Peștera Movile in Romanian, is a cave in Constanța County, southeastern Romania, not far from Mangalia and the coast of the Black Sea. Cristian Lascu discovered it in 1986 at the bottom of a hole that had been drilled for geological purposes. It's an interesting find because of the unusual ecosystem of the groundwater, which is high in gases like hydrogen sulfide, methane, and ammonia, but low in oxygen. Sulfuric acid, created by the oxidation of sulfide in the cave's bottom half, sparked speleogenesis in the area in the late Miocene era, some 5.5 million years ago, and it is still an ongoing process. In the Moleve Cave, scientists discovered the first known underground biosphere supported by chemosynthesis. As a result of being sealed off from the surface by impenetrable clays and loess during the Pleistocene epoch, about 2.5 million years ago, Moleve Cave is a 240-meter-long horizontal labyrinth with no natural entrance. Air in the cave's lower levels and air bells contain only 7 to 16% oxygen, compared to 21% at the surface, and 1.5 to 3.5% carbon dioxide, compared to 0.03% in the air. Hydrogen sulfide, ammonium, and methane are all present in significant concentrations in the cave's air and water. The cave has a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius, a relative humidity of around 100%, and no detectable airflow. Biological community in the natural world. The Moleve Cave groundwater ecosystem is exceptionally varied and abundant. More than 50 invertebrate species, including leeches, spiders, and water scorpions, have been discovered inside the cave. 37 of these are endemic or unique to the cave's environment. Since the cave was sealed off from the outside world for the entirety of the Quaternary, its inhabitants' culture has developed in isolation. In situ chemosynthesis performed by nitrifying microbes, methane, and sulfur-oxidizing bacteria, and other species serves as the basis for the subterranean food web. These microorganisms produce microbial mats, which cover the water and the cave walls adjacent to the water. Several invertebrate species, both aquatic and terrestrial, feed on the cave's rich microbial mats, while others hunt protozoa and tiny invertebrates for food. Discovery of a cave. Extensive study of the Moleve Cave has continued since its discovery in 1986. New species, unique to this habitat, keep being discovered by scientists. The only way into the cave is via a pit that's 18 meters deep and is completely sealed off from the outside world by an airtight barrier. For this reason, the subterranean ecosystem has been protected ever since its discovery. Access to the cave is strictly regulated to a small number of people per year to reduce human disturbance and preserve the natural state of the cave's ecosystem. Even researchers from outside the area must obtain authorization to conduct research there. The amazing species that formerly lived in this cave's deadly sulfidic atmosphere have been preserved in a time capsule from 5.5 million years ago. A Romanian geologist, speleologist, and photographer by the name of Cristian Lascu made the discovery in 1986 in the southeastern part of the country. The cave is just 240 meters long and 12,000 square meters in size. Geodesic research uncovered an underground area 6 meters deep that is not connected to the surface at Mangalia, in the southeast of Romania, less than 2 kilometers from the Black Sea. This space would be ideal for the establishment of a thermal power station. A tiny cave with clay-covered narrow passageways and gorgeous, spectacular labyrinthine halls. The Moleve Cave has since been heralded as one of the greatest discoveries of the 20th century, completely altering our understanding of life on Earth. Biologists at Romania's National Institute of Speleology have uncovered a thriving chemoautotrophic ecosystem that has survived for at least 5.5 million years, despite being completely sealed off from the surface atmosphere and its oxygen supply. NASA scientists sent a cutting-edge mobile laboratory to Mangalia, where the discovery was validated 10 years later by a group of scientists working in tandem with their Romanian counterparts. The findings of the study. Laboratory analysis shows that the running water is chemically distinct from neighboring fountains and devoid of the food particles, sulfide, and radioactive isotopes that were prevalent in Romanian soil in the wake of the Chernobyl disaster. As the cave does not receive any precipitation, the water must be seeping through porous limestone layers that are at least 25,000 years old. Eventually dissolving in the depths of the ocean, the discovery was studied by a team of NASA scientists and the Romanian teammates 10 years after its first discovery. It would appear that the more polluted the air is, the more life there is. The more many strange animals and fungi have adapted to the conditions of the Moleve Cave. Scientists have discovered 48 different species, 33 of which are found nowhere else in the known universe. A peculiar foamy mat of autotrophic bacteria provides the basis for all life on Earth. These bacteria perform chemosynthesis, drawing energy from the oxidation of sulfur, methane, and ammonium found in underground waters. In addition to providing a habitat for a wide variety of heterotrophic bacteria and fungi, these nutrient-rich mats and films also cover the floors and walls of water bodies and caves. These larger predators, such as spiders, snails, leeches, shrimp, centipedes, and water scorpions, are part of an odd trophic chain that also includes little insects, pseudoscorpions, and other invertebrates like isopods, springtails, and woodlice. Reduced oxygen levels and elevated levels of carbon dioxide, methane, and hydrogen sulfide are present. The sulfuric water releases hydrogen sulfide and smells like burnt rubber or rotting eggs when it's stirred up and heated. Microbiologist Richard Bowden claims that the cave is expanding because sulfuric acid actually erodes the limestone. The process causes a significant increase in carbon dioxide concentrations. There are strict laws in place to protect the unique and fragile environment that exists in one of the world's most inaccessible regions, and only a select few scientists have been granted permission to visit there. Those curious about the planet's hidden secrets, however, can swim just 2 kilometers out to the Black Sea coast to visit a typical geomanifestation location and learn about it firsthand through the medium of scuba diving. Sulfurous subterranean waters of continental karst origin are transported to the surface by fault lines and channels of the Sarmatian limestones. Where the Mangalia undersea sulfur springs are located in Romania, marine ecological diversity is at its highest. The infralittoral rocks at this Natura 2000 site are home to photophilic algae, and there are shadow sulfur hydrothermal springs nearby. Meadows of Zostera nolti grow there, either on fine or muddy sands, or in muddy sands that have been bioturbated by Upogebia, a type of mud shrimp. Various speculations have been made about the origins of these animals. The creatures are presumed to have settled in the cave sometime during the Miocene era, and experts have proposed a variety of explanations of how they got there. Different species might have moved in at different times, possibly due to the constraints of the land environment. But it's also possible that they just discovered and settled in Moleve Cave on their own. For the latter theory, we have evidence from the finding of a species of cave snail that has made its home there for a period of time equal to several ice ages, or a little over 2 million years. The bacteria in the cave has been studied and found to be quite identical to those found elsewhere, but to have ancestors who lived more than 5.5 million years ago. What makes Moleve Cave so special? Drilling probes were just another tool in Romanian geologist and speleologist Cristian Lascu's toolbox as he searched for a geothermal power plant. In its place, he found evidence of a cave that was fully separated from the surface of the Earth, and it was only 6 meters below his feet. Moleve Cave is one of the world's natural wonders. The fact that it was sealed 5.5 million years ago, right as modern plant and animal species were forming, is what has sparked so much interest. They developed in ways that are distinct from any other ecosystem on the planet. Somehow, 57 distinct species of insects, spiders, worms, and other arthropods managed to not only survive, but thrive in this extremely hostile environment. There are 37 endemic species in this cave alone. Because they gain nothing from sight, aesthetics, or luminosity, most of them are transparent and blind. For all Lascu knew, He had fallen upon a completely unique biosphere that existed nowhere else on Earth. An ecosystem comprised of organisms that have evolved to thrive in the most unforgiving settings shed light on the driving factors of evolution. There is a thriving, self-sustaining food web in the cave. The oxygen content of the air in the cave is very low. It has a carbon dioxide concentration 100 times higher than regular air, but just half as much oxygen. In addition, it is rich in methane. Air and water have high concentrations of ammonia and hydrogen sulfide, respectively. Although human researchers are only allowed to spend 2 to 3 hours inside the cave, 57 species of flora and fauna have survived there for millions of years, thanks to a full-circle food chain from bacteria to fungi, to plants to predatory animals. To this day, many mysteries remain, the most pressing of which is how life could have ever evolved and persisted in such an unforgiving setting. Moleve Cave has a very special ecosystem, and it is home to some fascinating and unusual creatures. The cave's isolation from the rest of the world has allowed for the development of a truly singular ecology. This place is rich in opportunities for discovery due to its sulfurous lake, bizarre fauna, and unusual geology. In addition, its ecology illustrates how organisms have evolved and adapted to survive in extreme environments.